If you're looking to breed ball pythons, one of the most important aspects is picking the right pairings. It can make or break your breeding season, and can make or break your business. So in today's video, that's exactly what we're talking about. The market strategies, the genetics, and how to pick the right time to start pairing them up. What's going on, everybody? So it's Baker again from Blue Line Morphs. If it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Appreciate it. We're new, we're cranking, we're moving. I put out daily content. It's raw, it's uncut. I just say what I want to say when I want to say it, and I'm brand new, so you can get to watch me crash and burn. If you're old school and you're back, old school, 3 months. If you're back to the channel, I appreciate it, guys. Listen, as always, subscribe, like, comment. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, blue_line_morphs. Check me out on there. DM me. You know, people are already starting to do it. The more I talk about DMing me, people start doing it. I'm engaging with people. I love that part of this whole YouTube experience, so forth and so on. So if you've been following the channel over the last few days, I've been giving breeding tips. To the best of my knowledge, from experience, not even really experience, let's be honest here, right? Just from talking to my buddies, research, watching videos, and how I've been planning accordingly for going into my first breeding season, which should be popping off in a couple weeks. So going along with that theme, I want to talk about pairings. Let's jump right into it. Pairing is one of the most important things you can do, right? That's how you're determining what you're going to produce. You're determining what snakes you're going to have, and ultimately what you're going to be selling. If you don't do the right planning, you don't do the right pairing, you don't plan accordingly, I mean, it can just destroy your breeding season. You can be left with a bunch of crap. So the first thing you need to do is determine what's a male and what's a female. I know this sounds dumb, and I know it's 2020. I'm not going to tell the snake what it is, but let's be honest here. If you want to breed, one's got to be male, one's got to be female. And the reason why I'm saying that is, often people buy snakes, it's like, oh yeah, it's a female, yeah, it's a female. Oh, that's a male, yeah. Listen, somebody could be trying to dupe you, and they're selling you, like, for example, when I was in South Carolina, I wanted to buy a ready-to-breed female pied, and they tried to sell it to me for relatively cheap, about, was it $600-700, whatever it was. It turned out to be a male. Did they try to dupe me? I don't know. Not entirely sure. But let's say you buy a female. You think it's a female. You know what? You're raising it up over 18, 19 months, 20 months, whatever the case may be. I got my female. I got my planning done. My breeding's ready to go. All of a sudden, you put them in a tub with a male, and all of a sudden, your tub starts rocking. Males will fight other males, guys. Can stress the snakes out, could lead to death, injury, etc. But let's say you did plan for that female to be a female, and it's not a female. Now you're shot. Now you're screwed. So the first part of planning is know the sex of your snake. Even though you bought it from even a reputable breeder, they can make mistakes. Not saying everybody's out to screw you. They can make mistakes. Just make sure you probe it or you pop it itself. I'll do a video on that by itself. Obviously, you got to wait for the right size, right? I think it was yesterday's video, the video before that. I don't know, I've been up for like 3 days. I only got like 6 hours of sleep. But in the last few days, I did a video about sizing and temperatures and weather. So make sure they're the right size, right? 1,500 grams for a female, bare minimum. Likely to be a little bit older of a snake, 2 to 3 years old. 500 grams for a male, about a year old, right? Make sure that they're the right size. You start pairing them up. I guess somebody wrote, either Las Vegas or Golden Constrictors on my Instagram said that Justin was talking about with Always Evolving about how he put a male in there with like a 1,200 gram female, and she popped out 7 healthy eggs. Hey, listen, it could happen. Obviously, they know a lot more than I do, but make sure they're the right size. The season, right? We covered this already to another video. If it's raining out, put them in there for the pairing. Make sure the season's correct. I mean, you can realistically lock up or pair snakes all year long if you want to. There's a lot of research done on that. But honestly, make sure it's the right season, right? Your September, October's kind of early. November, we start pairing them up. Make sure it's the right breeding season for your ball pythons. And if all that checks out, there's a few more things you got to look into. So plan out what you're going to do. Know your genetics, right? So what I mean is this. Let's say you have a snake with 3 or 4 genes in a male, another female 3 or 4 genes. That's another thing. I was talking to a guy, I picked up a couple pieces of equipment for him the other day, and I was telling him how I have like these 2 5-gene combo snakes I want to mate. He's like, well, the problem with that is you're not going to be able to tell what's in it. And I thought about it. It's all shit, too. This snake pops out as a 9 genetic trait snake. How do I know what it looks like? How do I know? How am I going to exhibit all these genes? So know that, too. But know the genetics in your snake. Know what you're going to produce. Know what's going to come out of it, right? So there's a great website, obviously Morph Market. We all know Morph Market. There's an aspect on that There's a link on that website of the calculator. You can literally put in the genetics of each snake you're doing. You cross this and give the percentages, what those snakes can come out. Now, if you scroll over to the right, some of the names or the outcomes could be in blue. You click on that. That means somebody posted that snake already. So take a look at that snake. Take a look at the things you might be able to produce. Plan accordingly. Then be able to ID that snake, right? If you're going to produce a Coral Glow, Black Pastel, Trick Mojave, or Banana, Enchi, Pastel, Butter, Fire, know what it looks like. So when you cut them out of the eggs, right, you know what you're selling, you know what's in there. So when you're planning these pairings out, make sure you know what it is. Also, be aware of the fact that you don't want to produce the same stuff every year. So if you're in your second, third, fourth year, whatever the case may be, I don't know, you're listening to me, but if you are, maybe let's not pair up the same snakes. If you're producing pieds or like recessive genes, I get that, but let's not pair up the same exact thing every year. So let's get into the market strategies of pairing and why you should pay attention to your pairings according to the market. So the first thing you should do is you should see what's selling. It's really that simple. I know a lot of people will say that snakes in the West Coast or East Coast or the South, if there's a big time, let's say, for example, Chris Hardwick, he was talking about how out, I think it's Colorado or out west somewhere, where there wasn't a lot of bamboos. So when he was producing bamboos, it was a hot commodity. You don't want to pick a gene or start producing snakes where there's a lot of them. So go check out your expos. Your local expos you're gonna be selling at. Like for me, it's White Plains, Brentwood, maybe Saratoga. Go to these expos, see what people have on the booths, right? You don't want to bring the same, you want to bring the same type of snake that everybody else has. You don't want to say, okay, everyone's got Coral Glows. You know, fuck it, let me produce more Coral Glows. It's just stupid, right? I mean, again, we're not doing this for the money. You are. Let's be honest. No, you are, okay? You're not going to be a millionaire off it, but you want to make a little bit of money, right? Pay for your time and at least break even to support your your habit. So know what you're breeding and know what people are also breeding. That way you're not producing the same stuff. You have a hard time selling them because now you're stuck with all these snakes. Be unique, right? Maybe you try to make new stuff. Try to pair different things up and try to create like a little concoction or something. Like I just said, don't get crazy with it because you won't be able to ID it. But be unique and have a plan according to, you know what, maybe this year, like for example, I paired him up, this is my Banana Pied, with my White Diamond. So I want to produce Banana Russo Het Pied. I want a female to eventually bring back to him to produce a Banana Pinto, right? Which is a yellow, all white snake with a yellow head. So I have the planning down the road. So it's another aspect of it is plan down the road. If I breed this year for hets, next year I want this, and I can raise it up for 2 years, and then you have what you want to produce. Also, know kind of what you're going to be selling them for, right? Don't just be like, okay, I got these snakes for, and then like panic. So go on Morph Market. First of all, set up your store or set up whatever account, kingsnake.com. I covered that, like a couple different ways of selling your snakes. Set up these accounts so you know, so you're good before ahead of time, and then you're able to upload them onto there and sell them quickly. So and be aware of what other people are selling these snakes at. Don't be this guy where you're playing and breeding, Banana Pies. I'm going to put them for $150 to sell them quick. Don't crash the market, right? And going along with that, don't flood the market. See what other people are producing, which I already mentioned, and make sure you're producing something slightly different. Also, if you start looking around, breed and pair what sells, right? Things like a lot of recessive genes are always selling, right? Clowns will always sell. Your pieds will always sell, and your bells will always sell. Obviously, you can't breed for a bell. You can, but the odds are stacked up against you. But just be aware what sells. Be aware what's going on in the market before you start pairing these snakes up. And then next year, like I said, switch up the combos. No, like this year I produced. Don't be the guy at the expo where it's like, oh, that's the Coral Glow guy, and every year they go, it's like, oh, Coral Glow. It's like I had Coral Glow last year, and they just start walking past you. With that being said, I think it's important to kind of be known for certain things. Like I want to be known for clown pies. That's going to be my thing. So those are also double recessive genes, so they're always going to sell. But be known for something, but at the same time, don't have the same shit year after year. So when you're pairing them up, look and be like, you know what? Last year I produced this. Let's switch this pairing up. With that being said, if your female dropped eggs for you the year before, maybe she's not good to go, guys. Don't rush her into breeding again. Look at your snake before you start pairing them up. Is she healthy enough? Does she have the right body? Is she chunky, right? Chunky but funky. Make sure she's good to go before you just start putting males in there. You don't want to, hurt your snake because also she's trying to produce clutches and she's not healthy enough to do so. And most importantly, and I've covered this before, is plan. Plan accordingly. All right? Don't start pairing up your snakes and don't have an incubator ready to go. That doesn't mean your incubator's sitting in the corner with dust on it. Have it good. Have the bottles of water in the bottom of it, right? Just in case the power goes out, something's hot, it kind of still stays somewhat warm in there. Check all your equipment. Make sure your incubator is ready to go. Have your egg boxes out. Have your egg boxes already laid out, ready to go, and they're already heated up in the incubator. My incubator's over there, that's why I'm pointing. And be able to put the eggs right in there and put them in there. So when you're pairing them up, already be prepared. Don't wait to the last minute because it's detrimental to your snakes, and you're just an idiot then. All right, let's be real with it. And then have space for these babies. Okay, so if you're gonna have 2 or 3 clutches and you're gonna produce 30 snakes, you need racks for them, guys. All right, or either you're gonna make the racks or you're going to buy the racks. Either way, have the space for the babies. Don't all of a sudden start cutting babies out like shit. Where am I gonna put them? And don't be that guy that puts 30 snakes in one tub. All the babies, it's fine. No, be prepared for it. And also know that these most of the hatchlings only eat live hoppers. Have the food. So one of the aspects of pairing is be prepared for the aftermath. Right? It's like don't hook up with a chick without a condom because you might have a kid. Be prepared for the consequences. The consequences of pairing your snakes. You're going to have more snakes. Be prepared for the incubator, egg boxes, and be prepared to feed the babies. So just to reiterate, guys, when you're pairing, plan it out. Know your genetics. Know what's going to pop out of it. Know what you're going to produce. Be able to ID what you're going to produce. Check the markets out. And make sure everything's good to go. So until that, like for me, fuck it, right? Let's see what happens. Let's start pairing some snakes up. Make sure it's the right weather. Enjoy. I can't wait to see what you guys are producing. I can't wait to see what I'm going to produce this year. Enjoy. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. Subscribe. Be safe, guys. Always remember, watch the 6.